Dimensional friction detected. Warning. Probability of phase collapse increased by 30%. Adjusting to Plan Beta. Reducing scope of observation. Selecting new potential catalyst samples. Singularity secured. Beginning construction of Phantom Field.
Ow, my arm. Ugh. Dude, what is this place? This place looks pretty weird. I can't remember the last time I got sucked into a TV.
Data's Gaming. Human male. Trouge Drago.
Ah! Oh my gosh, what the heck is going on here? Is that... Oh no, it can't be! Not AI!
You have been sent here to this digital world to do my dirty work. Here players will fight one another, and you will have to steal their gemstone in order to get out of here. Only the strongest will make it home.
Is that so? Well, you know what? I'll play your game. I'll get out of here and I will go back to what I love doing, talking about Chicken Little on the Xbox.
Too bad, human. I know what you did to Emperor Belos.
So you know my run-in with Belos and the dolls, huh? Well, no matter. Whatever new challenges comes my way, I will slay every single one of them and get back home to my friends.
Now, time for a new arc. Ha 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 ha.
BlazBlue, a franchise of video games that I know next to nothing about. Cut it out, I've played so many more fighting games, I just haven't really played Guilty Gear or BlazBlue. I have talked about crossover fighters though in the past, and I do love me a good crossover fighter. So one day when I was scrolling through Xbox Game Pass, I came across a game called BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, featuring characters from not only Persona, but also Ruby and Underknife Embirth. Now, I'm about to sound like a complete loser by saying this, but I've never played Underknife or watched Ruby. The only real connection I had to this game in particular is that I love the world of Persona 4. I love this group of characters and the entire story of Persona 4 as a nutshell. So I'm basically speaking as a Persona 4 fan that hasn't played the Arena games at all. Not to mention that this franchise was made by Arc System Works, which I know them personally through Dragon Ball FighterZ as one of the best Dragon Ball games we got in a while until the DLC happened, but still, the game itself is still really fun. So I pick it up, and dropping the gun here, I love this game. I don't know why this game got so much hate from like the BlazBlue community, but I love BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. The cross mechanic is super fun, the animations are spot on. This game is truly amazing. So I don't typically do this for reviews, but I'm going to talk about the fighting game mechanics first before we get into the narrative. Because the fighting game here, it pretty much plays like your normal 2D fighter. Everything works very properly. You have combos that have light, medium, and heavy attacks. You have this funny little grab move that goes into like this amazing animation. And then you also have this charge gauge, which I believe doubles attack damage. I'm not 100% sure what it fully does, but I'm pretty sure it doubles the attack damage. Now with this game being a crossover, you have many different fighters, and the gameplay styles is that you have 2 people per team member. And basically your main goal is to make sure both team members are destroyed and then you win the game basically. It's not like a best 2 out of 3 type matches. Every character basically acts like your stock, to quote Super Smash Bros. My only real critique with this is that you can't just do 1v1 matches, and if you can, I don't know how to turn it on. But other than that, I love the idea of this mechanic. It makes battles so much exhilarating. And the music, oh my gosh, the music in this game. I love all the different remixes that it brings, as well as its original compositions. It definitely adds to this game basically being awesome to play. And also, this game has both Japanese voice actors as well as English voice actors that you can change in the settings, and I love the way that the voice actors perform in this game. Now for some general critiques. When I tried to record footage for this game, I couldn't find many people to play online with, and I don't know if it's just because of the time zone I'm in, or if I clicked on the wrong menu, but I just could not find matches for like 2 hours straight. The only real time whenever I got matches was whenever I was playing with my friend Luna over on my Twitch page, and she's in a league of her own, like holy cow.
He's a doggy, go! No! Okay, nope, you're still here, holy moly. Oh, Rachel's dead. Okay.
Oh, man.
Dang, that was close. GG's. No, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Give me both of them.
Yep. Dead. Okay then.
Bye.
And besides the story mode, there's not really much other type of content to do. There was a tactics mode, which I didn't even bother playing just because I'm not a big fan of tactics. But let's just stop dancing on the subject. Let's talk about the story mode. So, with crossover fighting game story modes, I have a general rule of thumb, especially with the IP I'm not terribly familiar with. It basically has to get this point across. Should I care about the character that I'm controlling if I had zero experience with said game? Super Smash Bros. Brawl gave us Pit for the first time, and as someone who has never played a Kid Icarus game, playing through Pit's story, I got a general idea of his character. Same goes for Moth in that game as well. And to use another game I've covered here on the channel, Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Any type of the characters I didn't really know from Tekken and or from Street Fighter, I got their personalities and their characteristics throughout the story mode of that game. Sure, these stories are not JRPG levels of has to be great storytelling, but a general story can still be a good story, and what I found in Street Fighter Cross Tekken as well as Super Smash Bros. Are stories that can do so much with so little. BlazBlue does this, but at the same time kind of doesn't. Like, I know next to nothing about Wagner as soon as I started up the game. Actually, when it comes to any of the BlazBlue characters, introductions were basically like, oh, I remember you, oh, we should definitely team up, oh, we should go and move on. Like, I didn't get any sort of, like, connection or, like, introduction to a new player when it came to introductions to these characters. And I really got sick of Wagner midway through my stream of this game. Like, in the context of this game in particular, the game never gives me a reason why I should care about Wagner as a character. He's so whiny and he's just so hot-headed that it's almost just ear-grating. What made characters like Sanji super great is that he had someone like Luffy to bounce off of. Wagner doesn't really have a character like that to bounce off of, other than Noel, which, oh my gosh, Noel in this game is so fun to play.
Alright, get him. Nice.
But the overall plot of the story is basically every character has a gemstone, and basically it's up to them to steal a bunch of other gemstones from other players to make it out of this virtual world alive. And this AI really got annoying, more so than Wagner, honestly.
Let the 37th Keystone Scramble Tag Battle Tournament commence! Yes, that's the one. You've been selected as the Keystone holder. You're such a lucky boy.
What did you do to them?
Don't worry. To make sure the tournament proceeds smoothly, I've transferred them to another location.
It's like they were trying to make GLaDOS and Wheatley from Portal, but just did not have any of the soul, wit, or charm that those games did. But the plot really ends off with it turns out that the robot that was hosting this entire tournament was actually just creating data of all the different matches that you've been fighting, and it was none other than Rachel Alucard's grandfather that basically made this robot to begin with. And she has the personality of Ansem from Kingdom Hearts.
To obtain that keystone you hold.
You seem
oddly informed.
Yes, it's because I was actually listening to the explanation you were given earlier. It wasn't that difficult to grasp. Well, assuming you have a functioning brain, of course.
The moment you set foot in this castle, you forgot every spell and every ability you ever knew. In this place, to find is to lose, and to lose is to find. That is the way in Castle Oblivion.
After one last deal of easy happy slaps, oh my gosh, this final boss is actually so easy. We get one last deal of closure depending on the campaign you're playing, and that is pretty much the entire story arc of BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. I really don't know what to make of this story mode because BlazBlue, in terms of like its own characters, doesn't really do a good job of explaining anything about the BlazBlue characters. Like, midway throughout the campaign, you'll run into someone that says that he was wanted. Why is Wagner wanted? What is his backstory? You don't have to go into high detail, but at least give us some more information of, oh, he's just a wanted man in his universe. Like, in One Piece, you can just see a wanted poster in any type of video game, and it makes sense. They're pirates after all. But besides Wagner, I actually really like a lot of BlazBlue characters, and the little that I know about them here, I really do enjoy the presence here. They do bring a type of whimsy that you just don't really see a lot in these type of fighting games. And lastly, for the other characters like the Persona reps, it's spoiler heavy. I can't really say anything about it because it will spoil something about the Persona 4 game. And I imagine it's the same for Ruby and Underknife as well. But at the end of the day, do I recommend BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle? I 100% recommend it if you just want a fun Arc Systems game. If you don't care about any of the characters' lore, backstory, I can still see a ton of people having so much fun with this game. But if you like some of the IP here, like Ruby, Persona, Underknife, or even BlazBlue, you're probably going to get the most out of it if you know these characters pretty well. Unfortunately for me, I only know most of these characters in passing. I don't know what their personalities is like. I should get around to watching Ruby at some point. I know a certain Hedgie wants me to. Speaking of my friends, I should definitely go and find a way out of this place. I want to be able to get out of here soon, but something tells me that this is going to take a while. Guess it's just off into the darkness I go to be the light. Well, it's been 2 days since I've got trapped in my TV and some no-nonsense AI tried to kill me by sending anime goals after me. Just a normal Monday, I guess. But I do wish I can go back home right now because I will be just sitting back, drink on standby, and watching some loser online talk about how Sonic 3 is corrupting today's youth. What would I give to go back to that? Well, good thing I have this with me. I recorded all my thoughts on this machine right here. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, TheGamingTrouge here. Gosh, my voice sounds stupid. I couldn't stay away for long. This is the Sonic Hot Takes video number 3. 3 times in a row now I've talked about the hottest Sonic takes, and today's no exception. Except for this time, we recorded all of this over on my Twitch page at twitch.tv/TheGamingTrouge during a charity livestream event, and we had such a great time. But it was also one of the most longest hot takes video recordings ever, so I recommend watching the entire VOD down below to get the full type of experience of us basically reacting to all these different hot takes, from friends of the community to YouTubers that I just don't know if they'll ever even care about watching this video or not. But hey, let's get into it. Would you like to share your Sonic hot takes if you have any?
Okay, I have one that is going to be it's very spicy, I'll say.
Oh, why out into the fire? Why? Okay, what do we got?
Labyrinth Zone wasn't that bad.
That's
because I know what bad really is.
Oh, do you now? Did you see the last True Stash video? No, I don't know why Coma was saying that this game, that Sonic Blast was like, oh come on, I can't do anything with this AI.
Yeah, Sonic Blast. I know what's. Listen, people say all the time that Labyrinth Zone is bad. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's good. But you haven't seen Utter Misery and The Home for Infinite Losers as much as you've played Bloomerang Zone on Sonic Blast for the Game Gear.
But is it still better than Shadow the Hedgehog?
No, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, we have limitations here.
Shadow the Hedgehog is, it's a trip. Not what I can recommend, but it's a trip.
That's, well, like, you guys have to take into account Labyrinth Zone is just a single level that you don't have to play 10 times. The only time you have to play it 10 times is whenever you are, like, me and playing the Sonic, what was it, the Sonic Origins, where you have infinite lives. Because Luna has seen me firsthand lose it at Labyrinth Zone multiple times.
The best 2D Sonic game is Sonic Rush Adventure, because there is so much that went into that game.
I've never played the Rush game, so I don't have a strong opinion on them. I never played it. I had a DS, I just never got around to playing it. For, like, to kind of put you in my perspective, as a kid, I got DS games just willy-nilly from my mom. So, like, if we were out at Walmart, we'll come for groceries and we'll come back with, like, Drawn to Life, Scribble Knots, Brain Age was one of the games I got in that, like, random, like, pick. And so, like, Sonic was always one I wanted to try. The box all looked cool. But the time I saw it, it was going for, like, 40 bucks. I'm like, no way. I'm not spending 40 bucks as a, like, teenager that didn't have money at the time.
You know, that tracks, but hey, at least he played Drawn to Life. At least he played Peak.
Yeah.
And,
Luna, what is your 3 Sonic hot takes? What is the 3 hot takes that you just have that is just so spicy it will make, like, Cheetos, like, spice, like, weak?
Alright,
I don't know why I was going with that.
Alright, I'll start with the first one. Number 1, I think that if it weren't for the fact that the gameplay wasn't that good, I think Secret Rings and Black Knight would have been good games overall.
Thank you! Thank you!
So it does bring me good hopes that there is someone there, a fan out there that's making a fan project with Secret Rings. I don't know about you guys, but I can tolerate Sonic Spinball options music.
Options music. The second thing that pops up after Spinball.
That's crazy.
What the heck just happened to my computer?
So I would recommend lowering down your thing because I don't want you to hurt your ears.
Yeah, I did try
It is
to.
loud.
It is 100% loud. It's like going to like negative 35 on the decibels. I played it, I was like, oh crap, it's this music.
Alright. I don't know if the chat's gonna be able to handle this. I don't know. But I think the English dub of Sonic X is better than Sad AM. Bite me.
Ooh, yes! Finally, someone gets it. I'm sorry. I've, after going through copyright pain with Sonic X, I'm so glad someone actually agrees with me that Sonic X, both the sub and the dub, are great.
You know, I was thinking I would get more of a contrarian side on the Sad AM side, but interestingly enough, not really, unless Chad has said something.
Chat said, yeah, maybe. We got, them going, and then we have Tenwick in the Twitch chat going, ha 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 ha. So, we do have, Ethan here in the side chat. You guys probably know them for making the artwork you've seen for the Shoutout the Hedgehog video, as well as the thumbnail for the Blaze Blue video, as well as the PNGs you've been seeing lately on live streams. So, hopefully you're doing good, brother. How are you doing today?
I've been good. I was rushing to get my clothes outside to dry before I got here.
Speed run 80%.
I got 90.
You gotta hit the BLJ to, like, backwards lawn jump and glitch through the washing machine and into the dryer. 3 hot takes that are so hot it will make a volcano that Sonic and Shadow fought in seem like an ice sculpture.
Out of all of the... I think Jet is the weakest of Sonic's rivals.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Because with the others, they actually have Shadow, Surge, Metal, or even Knuckles. There's like something with Jet. It was more annoyance than anything. I think for like my second one, this is what comes from the storybook series. I think like Dark Spine Sonic is the best design of a power up form for Sonic.
Ooh.
That is a way cool power up. I do have to say, again, that game does have its good spots. I think Dark Spine was like, whoa, it's like, who, we're doing this now? Okay.
My third and final one, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie does a better job at adapting Sonic Adventure 2 than Sonic Adventure 2. That's my final hot take.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
Yes, I like, okay, so here's the thing.
You're insane!
Boyd Gold with the soundboard in the Twitch chat. But
I know this is gonna ruffle a lot of people. This is gonna be divisive, but that was just like I didn't know what to say, and that was one of them.
That it is certainly a hot take. I'll give you that.
So this is an anime influencer podcast called I forgot exactly what the name of the podcast is called, but the Otaku Anonymous podcast. And basically they do a bunch of different types of like opinion pieces and put them on social media. This was one of them I saw a day after Sonic 3 came out. So without further ado, let's just get into it.
It feels like a movie written by babies for babies. They're some of the unfunniest movies I've seen. And I know that is an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
I know I'm coming in hot. People love these movies. And I hear so many people being like, no, like they understand the fandom. It's like by passionate people for passionate people. But it's like the same passionless corporate as the Michael Bay movie.
Do you think it's just for babies, as they put it?
No.
Yeah, like this is one of the like most blanket statement takes I think I've ever heard in my entire life. It's 100% not for kids, and yes, like the calling the Pikachu thing, like I definitely found it was a fun joke, and I think it's played funny just in hindsight because you can arguably think about how without Detective Pikachu there wouldn't even necessarily be a Sonic movie. Like Detective Pikachu and Sonic 1, like they came out a year like before one another, but Detective Pikachu made a ton of money like at the box office and everything, and genuinely people enjoyed the movie that weren't even the biggest Pokemon fans. And so I thought that was like more of a nice homage rather than just like, oh, he's yellow, so he's obviously a Pokemon, and they're in Japan, so it obviously makes sense. Like that's kind of the vibe I kind of got.
Pikachu.
Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
when it comes to like a lot of the jokes related to that, honestly, I feel like they were just kind of just being referential for the sake of just being referential, and that isn't bad. Some of the jokes work. I feel like some of them land, some of them don't.
Number 2.
Why is there boss music?
People who say that Sonic can be only enjoyed by one kind of age group is morally and accurately incorrect.
I agree.
I 100% agree. And like the entire thing with like again they're using Sonic 3 as the example. Did they not know like the emotional weight of the third act? Like even General Audience or not, like that third act was like, if I saw this movie prior to any sort of knowledge of like the games, I would have still cried like I did in the theater. Like even like without the prior knowledge of SA2, like just that as a plot point is so strong, and they just it does boggle the mind. It boggles the mind.
The example of using the Michael Bay Transformer films in this made me tick off.
I genuinely agree with Bird there, because like, you know, like a lot of these films can be enjoyed by a general audience. Like, they don't have to be specifically just for kids. Like, there's a lot of things that are made with a kid audience in mind, but they can be enjoyed by anyone of any age. That's why, even as adults, we still love things like Mario and Pokemon and Kirby and all that.
These are the type of people that are close-minded.
So this is a video entitled Darian Darian Sama Sonic Hot Takes. Don Hot Takes.
We all know and love Sonic. We know Sonic Adventure, his first 3D game. And we all know this model. This guy was so popular, in fact, that he got a custom skin in Sonic X Shadow Generations. Yeah, this model, I hate him. I do not like anything about him. I don't like his block fingers. I don't like that his shoes look like trapezoids. I don't like the fact that his eyelids are tan instead of blue. I especially don't like the lack of melanin in his...
Can I throw him somewhere? Please.
No, he needs.
Whoa! Wait, let's dial that back a bit.
I'm playing Sonic Adventure DX as of recent, and at times I miss wanting to see the old models instead of the ones I have for DX. I prefer SA1 Tails model over his DX model.
I liked Amy better when she was obsessed with Sonic than nowadays.
Okay. When Amy is obsessed with Sonic, it can only be if it's taken not far, then it's fine. If it's like to a certain extent like it was, if it's kept reserved like in games like Sonic Adventure, then I think it's fine. If it's where the level of Sonic Heroes, then I think that's when it's a problem.
This is a creator I found before they joined Twinkle Park, and I was like, holy... Oh, what's up?
I knew her before she was introduced in Twinkle Park too.
Heck yeah.
I'm here.
I watch her on TikTok and on Twitter.
I watched her on YouTube.
I found her.
I started watching her on YouTube.
Oh,
and I saw her on TikTok.
We got the Noah in the chat. Noah.
The other.
We and they left. No.
I know it.
God dang it.
We got SPD. We got the their hot takes video that they've put out, and I wanted to kind of cover it just to kind of see where I stand with a lot of the opinions. They basically ran a poll on the platforms. I guess not poll. They ran a thing on their platforms to have people go and comment whatnot on it, and I kind of wanted to see it for myself. This is purely just based off of curiosity. I do generally love their live streams and their character design. They look amazing.
Sonic is an introvert. He spends most of his downtime by himself. Long time no see quite literally means he hasn't seen them in a long time. The biggest proof of this is his depiction in Sonic X. Notice how he spends most of his time alone, either contemplating or relaxing.
So I'm gonna leave that to the floor. Do you guys agree with that?
I used to.
No. Not really.
Alright. Oops, sorry.
I think literally just long time no see is just like a saying, like a catchphrase and saying. It's like what every like character has. Like, see you next time.
Yeah. It's very much like the cocky shonen jump type character who is like, haha, long time to see. Or I guess Spider-Man is another comparison as well. He definitely, I could definitely see, at least judging just by Sonic X as they use as proof, I could definitely see that. But at the same time, I guess I could see a little bit of myself in it, and I guess this kind of goes back to what I said when I put Sonic at #1 on my Sonic characters list, because Luna, you freaking spammer. Like, I saw a lot of myself in Sonic, because I'm very much the same. Like, this post basically spoke to me a little bit, because, like, it's, I don't know how to put this in the woods. Like, I love spending time with you guys. I love spending time with friends and family and whatnot. But there's other times where I just want to be in my zone, be like by myself doing my own things. And so I can definitely kind of see it that way, but I don't think Introvert's the right word. I will say neurodivergent might be the right word, but maybe? I don't know. Just kind of a game theory in my head, so.
I don't know why, but I thought my brain went immediately to Sonic autistic.
I mean, not necessarily just autism, maybe just, I don't know.
That's just a theory. A game theory.
A Sonic theory. Thanks for watching.
Silver should not have a traditional platforming game. Something more like Frontiers could work, but my mind is crossing Psychonauts and Gravity Rush for something around his moveset. I agree, 100%.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes. I have some thoughts about that.
I don't.
Go for it.
I don't know. The only gameplay we have is the Rivals and 06.
And we're not talking about Rivals right now. I'm trying to escape. I'm trying to escape the Rivals pitfall I fell in. My brain cells. My brain cells are still trying to recover from Rivals. But no. So as I was saying, yes, I generally think that, yeah, like, I'll say still have platforming elements. I think the Psychonauts comparison is pretty good. Still have, like, some of the platforming elements, but, like, be more like how, say, a game like Star Wars The Force Unleashed played. Well, like, you can pick up guys and you have, like, the white stick and you can just, like, force guys just, like, anywhere. You can stun guys. I still feel like having him have a normal homing attack will benefit everybody. I think that was the biggest problem, is that his method of attacking was not homing attacking like the other two hedgehogs had. You had this stupid, like, you had to stun them and then you had to, like, throw the rock at his face, and that kind of does put me off when we play in 06.
Yeah, that part I agree on.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Like, he should have a homing attack. I think like a style of, like, way where he can like lock on, but not like what the other characters do in a homing attack. Something different.
Honestly, an idea that I've always had for Silver is kind of have like some elements of Beam Kirby from the Kirby series, where the longer you hold down his attack button, the more he'll charge up, and he'll be able to use a psychic shot from his palms.
One of the things I thought of was like what, like that the energy building thing similar to like Shadow in some of the games.
Mm-hmm.
But that allows him to boost for a short time.
So, we've come to this. This video has been circulating through everywhere. I know next to nothing about it. And throughout this entire Hot Takes video, we've given our entire thoughts on the Sonic Cinematic Universe. But let's see what this guy has to say about him from a father's perspective. Talking about Sonic 3. I
see a banjo, we should be worried.
I see a banjo. I see coffee mugs. Dude, this guy looks like he's about ready to go to church. And this also looks like a full-on green screen in the background. I doubt he lives in the woods.
This guy looks like he's ready to make a political video.
This feels like I'm back in like my my olden days where I'm like seen in the countryside.
Dude, this is like
banjo and everything.
He's got a banjo. He's got a Wallace up here in the top right. Like, dude, this guy is like, I'm really getting some like weird feelings about him. But
I'm getting like country person father, countryside father vibes.
Yeah, but
we should be worried.
Oh, it's 10 minutes long. What can possibly go on?
When a man becomes the father, he's called upon to make sacrifices for his family. And often these will be small sacrifices. Sometimes they'll be larger, though, more significant. And on even rarer occasion, the duties of fatherhood will require him to make the kind of sacrifice that, up to that moment,
oh shoot, guys, he's saying to subscribe. He has the subscribe button out. What's his channel? What's the subscribe button? I don't have his video up.
Oh wow,
shoot.
he's losing
Oh
the
shoot.
subscribers
Oh
really
shoot.
fast.
No. What's the subscribe button? I have no idea.
Oh wow, he's losing subscriber real fast. Oh god, it's going down to the negative.
Also, we're talking about the responsibilities of fatherhood. We were talking about goddamn Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
What are you on about?
I think
he took weed before coming here.
Like, if you want to talk about responsibilities of fatherhood, I mean, Tom was a really good, like, father figure in Sonic's life, I feel. Like, you can say what you want about the character as a whole, but at the very least, it's the motivation that make the character do the right thing. But I digress.
Incapable of making. These are the moments when a man must become a hero, when he must lay his very life on the line. And this may take many forms. Perhaps he's rushing into a burning building to rescue his child from the fire. Perhaps he has to pull his loved one away from the path of a speeding train because they've been tied to the tracks by bandits or whatever.
What in the heck
or
is this guy going about?
He may be compelled by his
you're
paternal
talking about
obligations
Sonic the Hedgehog.
to go to a movie
My
theater
dude, you're
and
talking about
watch
a
Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
A man must make sacrifices. I took my son
What
to see
are you on
Mufasa.
about?
It turned out that he didn't even go into the theater. He just walked into Mufasa in the theater. Mufasa. They walked into Obama as they were trying to go and watch Sonic 3. But no, like, this is like oddly prompted circumstance to open your video. I'm just saying.
My guy, you're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog.
Now, a man in that situation would, of course, much prefer to be engulfed in flames or hit by a speeding train, but that would be the coward's way out. He endures Sonic the Hedgehog 3 for the sake of his children, whom he loves. And over Christmas break, that is precisely the situation that I found myself in. Now, for the record, I'll say I greatly enjoyed most of the time that I spent with my wife and kids these past 2 weeks. We had a lot of fun together. We played football, we played outside, we shot BB guns, we played card games and board games. I completely wrecked my whole family in Monopoly 2 nights in a row. Wasn't even close. We took the kids ice skating. I was ice skating. My wife and kids were left dumbstruck by my gracefulness and elegance on the ice.
Well, a minute and a half in, and this man has said Sonic the Hedgehog like twice.
How many minutes are we into this video?
We're a minute 34 into a 10-minute 21 video.
A rather distressing turn on the final Thursday of the break when my 8-year-old son and 5-year-old daughter asked me to take them to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And I did. God help me. God help me. I did. Now, before I offer my brief review of this thing that I hesitate to call a film, I must first acknowledge, in all fairness, I never saw Sonic the Hedgehog 1 or Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Objection! This is just general film critique, just in general. Even to a more extent, video game critique as well. If you're going into something with the subtitle of 3, 2, 2.5, whatever, you should at least know what the first thing is. Did this man not do research before going into it? Like, even just...
This man... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, so, no, you're good. Like, okay, so I'm gonna just side tangent. Again, sorry, my brain works like this. So... When I went to go see Sonic 3 with my friends and family, my stepsister came with us. Granted, she's never even once heard of Sonic, but she wanted an explanation on the movie because she realized it was a third movie. Is there going to be something that's going to tie in? I gave her the bare basic plot beats that happen in each movie, and she was already like, "Oh, this seems like a fun movie. Let's watch number 3." Like, someone that doesn't play video games at all besides Just Dance got a better understanding of the lore from what I assume this guy is probably not going to get.
appreciate the narrative complexities of Sonic the Hedgehog 3 without having seen the first 2 chapters in this epic Hedgehog saga. Maybe the other 2 movies are works of staggering artistic genius that would elevate the third installment and lend it the sort of context necessary for me to have appreciated it and enjoyed it instead of feeling like I was being waterboarded with high fructose corn syrup the whole time. But I doubt it. I mean, this is the kind of movie where Jim Carrey plays 2 characters. One is the evil villain, and the other is the evil villain's evil grandfather in old age makeup. And the 2 break into an impromptu dance routine that makes no narrative sense but lasts approximately 87 minutes. It's the kind of movie where those same characters before the dance routine actually look directly into the camera and explain that they're being played by the same actor. I must assume, and I think assume safely, that there is nothing in the other 2 films that would make this one any less obnoxious
I was just trying to
or
let him
horrific.
finish. I was trying to find a good pausing point. Please go.
It's just, this guy feels like he went into the movie, but didn't want to watch it, but he just, on his phone, but he looks up once in a while. This is what it's feeling like right now.
This is the guy that's in the movie theater in like the top right of the theater room, just on his phone playing Scrabble. That's just all he does, while his 2 kids are running around the theater.
I'm not going to bother explaining the plot of this film in any detail. I wasn't tracking it that closely, to be honest. I was mostly fighting to stay awake. This is the kind of movie
There's no freaking way. How did you know it? I was not. He said he's not tracking the movie. So why are you making a video talking about your experience going to the movie? You are 100% on your phone.
I called it that he probably wouldn't like. It's probably something similar to what I said.
It's rage bait and it's for the ad revenue.
It is. It's 100% rage bait for the ad revenue, and it's so like you can at least attempt. Like, I'm looking at this just from like a reviewer standpoint. That's what bugs me, and I know it's 100% rage bait. It's just it's working and it bugs the crap out of me because like I know for a fact this dude does not. I don't even have the account. I don't remember what the account is. Don't go spam and harass them. That's never cool. But like,
I'm not gonna say what it is.
But like, I went and checked the account before downloading the video, and they didn't have anything to do with Sonic. They didn't have anything to really do with movies. They didn't have anything to do with like media as a whole. It was more or less just like a man's channel, like a man. And I'm like, you're not.
Okay.
Yep, it's one of those. Yep, I looked it up, and yep, it's one of those videos, and yikes, it's one of those. Nope, not gonna even say his names. It's not even worth it.
Yeah, I'm not. The whole point of this is to never harass anyone, but definitely if you're going to review something, have a general understanding of it. IGN, Kotaku, Polygon, people that are like the lowest common denominator for reviews, I feel like, especially when it comes to like stuff that is like more Japanese than American, just to kind of like do that with like JRPGs versus American games, whatever. They can understand, at least give a general plot synopsis and their thoughts. This man's not doing any of that, and he's spoken to a camera for 10 minutes.
He could have at least looked up a Wikipedia plot summary.
Exactly.
Before doing this video.
You to the
make him look
point of putting you to sleep, but also annoys you at the same time. It's kind of an odd combination to be both sleepy and deeply irritated simultaneously.
Obviously, this guy's never played Sonic.
As for the plot, I can only tell you that Sonic is the good hedgehog, which you may know. There's also an evil hedgehog voiced by Keanu Reeves, who, and I like Keanu Reeves, by the way, but like every other voice actor in this film and most voice actors in most children's films that have been made for the past 20 years, he has no talent as a voice actor and doesn't understand how to act with just your voice. But he's famous, so that's good enough, I suppose. So Sonic has to stop the
argument
evil
can
hedgehog.
work to a certain extent with like other films. I don't think that argument necessarily holds water for Sonic. Like,
I hold water for Sonic.
Yeah, like, you can make that argument for, like, 90% of the Disney movies that came out in the 2020s. But if you want to just, like, use it with Sonic, like, I've heard people say that they want a fan of Keanu as Shadow, which I can definitely see. And a lot of people really did want someone like Hayden Christensen to, like, voice Shadow, not only just for his role in Star Wars, but in his roles in his many other films. And you could definitely have preference of what you wanted to, like, have voice. I still feel like the actor put in, like, his good stuff. There are some lines that do feel a little awkward immediately, especially on rewatches. But at least for the first viewing, I feel like he definitely did what he needed to, and he was dang good at it. And so...
Keanu did a decent job. Not my favorite Shadow, did good enough.
For that version of Shadow, I will say he did. It's good at 10.
A solid 8 out of 10.
For that specific version. Anything else? No.
Yeah. And I guess that does also apply to, like, the DLC. Because, like, although he doesn't have too many lines, you can 100% tell he was just kind of just recording it, just for the sake of recording it. Like, the DLC for Shadow Gen definitely, like, it's a fun stage, and it's pretty cool to see the movie version in a game. The voice, it sounded a little weird, if I'm being honest. It does not sound, like, natural to a way. Like, it doesn't sound too natural. It sounded more natural in the movie than it did in the DLC, if that makes any sort of sense.
Yeah. I think it was just like a one-off thing where just like they quickly brought him in to record some lines.
His evil cohorts, there's the Jim Carrey dancing duo I mentioned earlier, from blowing up the world with a big laser. And, you know, this has been the evil plan of every evil villain in every blockbuster franchise film for the past 3 decades. It's a formula that this movie is not interested in deviating from. This is not the sort of movie that deviates from formulas. Now, if you're wondering why the evil hedgehog and the 2 Jim Carreys want to explode the world and murder 8 billion people in a cosmic blast that they will also die in, it's because the older Jim Carrey's granddaughter, I think, was killed, and now he wants to commit murder-suicide because life isn't worth living. Like, that's real. That's in the movie. He actually declares his suicidal intention as well. Now, if that seems like weirdly bleak and dark for a kids' movie where the characters bust out impromptu dance routines and randomly break the fourth wall and constantly speak in internet lingo from 2019, there's a lot of that, by the way. Just as one example, at one point, Jim Carrey says, "Damn you, autocorrect." If it seems weirdly bleak and dark for that kind of movie, it's because it is. This is a movie, like so many kids' movies these days, that schizophrenically darts back and forth from being ironic to painfully self-serious to goofy to earnest and so on and so on. It doesn't try to smooth over these tonal transitions with good writing or performances. The writing is just terrible, and the performances are...
Okay, I genuinely can't keep watching this. Okay. Okay, yes, to an extent I do, like, again, it's not, like, freaking, like, the best film. I don't think there's ever going to be a, like, perfect movie. There's not going to be a perfect film. This goes beyond just Sonic, just in general. Like, you have, like, these different types of, like, if we're just talking about, like, oh, it, like, randomly goes from dark to, like, funny and dark and funny, you have obviously never have encountered any sort of Disney movie within the past 20 years. You haven't encountered any DreamWorks movie in the past 20 years. If we're just going to use another example that I haven't brought up yet, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. Without going into details, because it's definitely a movie you guys should definitely watch, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is, it hits the balance of comedy and dark, and it's almost kind of like Sonic 3 in that regard, where, yes, they do talk about death. Yes, they do talk about murder. Yes, they do all these different types of things, but at the same time, it's balanced out with, like, a character that wants to do the right thing at the end. It's balanced out with complex characters that are not terribly too complex for a standard viewer, but just layered enough to have, like, meat on them. And I generally just don't agree with this guy. Like, he's not making too much sense. Because even taking off my Sonic goggles for a bit, he's just not making sense in the context of just animated films. Like, this is the type of guy that sat and watched The Lion King and probably didn't think of, like, its, like, impact on just anything. But I digress. This is exactly what Koma said. It's more or less rage bait.
I stopped paying attention to it. What was going on?
Yeah, not even gonna lie with you. I checked out.
I'm mentally checked out.
I started scrolling through Blue Sky as this guy was talking.
This is how interesting this Flicker is. He's not even interesting enough to make fun of. When I saw, like, the amount of video responses and, like, posts underneath this guy's video, I was expecting, like, he would have to have some, like, big brain, like, stupid comment about Sonic 3.
But it's just a guy talking about who admitted that he wasn't even paying attention to the film.
Yeah, so
like, why should we care?
I'm doing the same thing as what he's doing to what he did to the movie, not paying attention to his video.
Why should we care if he obviously doesn't?
You know what? I'm gonna do the same thing too. I'm just gonna play Roblox in the background.
I'm gonna do something productive with my time and play a good Sonic game.
I mean,
I'm
that's
already
fair.
playing a Roblox Sonic game as we speak.
I'm gonna suffer through this. We have 5 minutes. We have actually 9 minutes left. I want to see. It's so hard because he's basically every, like, again, just because it's animated and just because they have funny moments and it's marketed towards kids does not mean it's a kid's film. This film, I feel like, will help kids understand the value of life more than the freaking new Moana movie that came out.
Flings it all against the wall haphazardly because these are all bullet points that the movie studio knows it has to hit. Because this movie, again, like so many kids' movies these days, is not the fulfillment of anyone's creative vision. It is just the product of a corporate algorithm. It is loud and ugly and obnoxious and disjointed because nobody who made the film actually cared about making a good film. And they have absolutely no respect for their audience. I mean, this movie could have been made by AI. We are at a point. If they start making movies with AI, we would not know the difference because they've effectively been doing that for 20 years now. Now, you might respond here. As many people on Twitter did after I gave a very brief review of this film in a tweet on the site a few days ago.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There is no emotion. There is no anger. There's only the Force. What in the holiest of watermelons is this lunatic? Does this guy know what AI slop is?
I don't think he's seen how ugly we could have gotten. And number 2, how the frick do you know what AI is? You look like somebody who probably
Looks on AI.
heard it from your friend.
This looks like a man that actually
AI generated video.
This guy looks like he could, like, dabble in AI. Like
that too. And and number 3, and it's most important, very, very most important. If it were AI, then there would be some stuff that would be more perfect. You wouldn't even need voice actors. The movie would have been cheaper to make.
Yeah.
Right?
By his logic, it could have this could have just been a freebie. I'm not advocating for all AI stuff. Support artists, support musicians, support everybody. But there is websites out there nowadays that you could just literally type in a prompt and then there you go. You can make it for free. This guy's stupid mindset. Again, I'm handlebars are off, unfortunately. You can't say this movie is made with AI. You just genuinely can't. With the amount of AI stuff that's came out over the past, like, 4 to 5 years, it's not this. You will never get this. You will never become this. What in the actual... I have no words. I genuinely have no words for this lunatic. This is where probably the video of, like... This is why all the video responses came out.
By far, the youngest people in attendance. There were multiple groups of adults. Just adults, no kids. Whole groups of them who bought tickets to Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Also, tell it to the multiple grown adults who got angry at me on Twitter for not liking the movie. The funny thing is that a lot of those same people say, well, it's not for you, it's for kids. Why are you getting so upset about it then? Why are you tearfully defending a movie that you claim is not for you either? In fact, one person told me that my negative comments had upset, and I'm repeating this phrase verbatim, had upset the, quote, Sonic community. Now, those are not kids who identify themselves as members of the Sonic community.
Are you freaking sure about that? Like, yes, most of us are on, like, 20s and, like, even just some younger fans out there. This bozo does not understand what the word community means. Community is a synonym for, like, a group of people. That means old people, young people, like any type of people, like just every people of every sort of thing. It's a community of people. Kids love this movie. Adults love this movie. It, like, just going by, like, review scores, it has an 88 on Rotten Tomatoes. And, like, so, like, you want to talk about, like, just adults liking it? Well, also kids love it. The theater I was in was packed full of kids. It wasn't like again, not to use Disney again, but like, it wasn't like a Disney film where like, there was like so many people. But like, it was the right balance. The games are rated E for everyone. The media is for everybody. Just because it has a PG, the PG-13 like moniker does not mean it's just for kids. It's a stupid old mindset that I very much disagree with. You can be critical about this movie. It's not perfect. I'm not claiming it's not. But if you're going to review it, at least try to review it with the integrity of a reviewer. Because that's what bugs me the most about this, more than anything else. Is that, like, he says he's reviewing this movie, and he's 100% not. He's just... And with that, I think I'm not going to give this guy the last bit of not going to give him his last 30 seconds of fame. I'm mentally drained by that. I apologize for dragging you guys into that. I was expecting some peak cringe, and I guess that's what we got.
If by peak cringe you mean literally nothing of value.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the final Sonic Hot Takes video. I really enjoy doing Sonic Hot Takes videos from time to time, but that last one really got under my skin. So I want to try something different the next time I ever go around to do a Hot Takes videos. But for right now, I need to figure out how to get myself out of this world, because I just want to go home, back to my...
I mean, come on! But where is he?
Well, after a week of being stuck inside here, I feel like I've been through every corner of the world and I can't escape. It's like I'm playing Minecraft or something. I also have some eggs I need to give back to Aurora, but she doesn't even know that I'm in here. Does anyone know that I'm in here? Am I ever going to actually escape?
Aren't you pathetic?
Oh, it's you, that creepy guy from before, after I defeated Bellos. What was your name again? Akuma?
Yes, I'm testing out my brand new AI, and it trapped you straight through your television. Pretty original, huh?
I'm so sick and tired of playing your games. Can you just let me free?
Not yet. After your 7 days, I have one last test for you. A game known as Kid Icarus.
Oh. Kid Icarus? I've heard of that series before. I never played it before. Maybe I should go in with an open mind.
Best of luck, Trouge. I will see you later.
But something tells me you probably fired on this cartridge or something. Kid Icarus, a game series about a little boy named Pit who is an angel that looks for Lady Palutena to stop the evil Medusa from taking over the world. This series is one of Nintendo's more underground series, only having 3 games, and most people only think that I only have 1 game, and that game being Kid Icarus Uprising, released in 2011 for the Nintendo 3DS. But before that, we did also get Pit and Super Smash Bros. Brawl for the Nintendo Wii, released in 2008, but we still didn't have an official new Kid Icarus game since the 1990s. And that's why for today we are going all the way back to the 1980s with the original Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus was released December 19th of 1986 and over here in America on February 15th, 1987. This game was produced by the great Gunpei Yokai as well as R&D1, the same people behind the original Metroid. Like most NES games at the time, these games were very simple and straight to the point, but this story is a little bit more interesting to say the least. This game is set on Angel Land, which is a fantasy world with Greek mythology themes. Before the events of the game, Earth was ruled by Lady Palutena, the goddess of light, and Medusa, the goddess of darkness. Palutena bestowed the people light to make them happy, while Medusa hated the humans, dried up their corpse, and turned them to stone. So Lady Palutena sent her to the Shadow Realm, where Medusa turned into the most ugliest creature alive. Now Medusa plots to go and get her revenge on Lady Palutena, and so Lady Palutena sends in her best hope, that being a boy named Pit. Well, at least it's better than the Captain N cartoon.
You can count on me to win the archery event, Princessicus.
No! Oh my gosh, I enjoyed this show when I was a kid. But with this being an NES game, the game itself does not tell you anything of the story. You kinda just jumping around shooting basically bow and arrow with an infinite ammo count, and just generally trying to survive this game. This is an NES game after all. I think this is the 3rd or 4th time me saying it, and this game will remind you that you're playing an NES game. But before I get to that, I do want to give some praises though. The music, pretty spot on. Given that this is the same development team as the original Metroid, the original Metroid also has some fantastic music, and this game is no exception. Graphically, this game does look really good, but I guess it's just me and playing old NES games or old 8-bit games in general, but if I play them for any stretch of time, my eyes kill me. It's super hard to play this for longer than an hour and a half without my eyeballs wanting to give out. But let's get into it now. Why does most people don't talk about this game? Because it's cryptic as crap and it's an NES game. Now, there are a ton of NES games that I will go back and replay over and over and over again because the quality is just so great. This game, on the other hand, is just not great in the slightest. This game right here is the definition of cryptic. Let's start with this room right here. With trial and error, I realized that this room right here basically was cryptic to the point where you couldn't pick up any of the items inside this room, and you had to wait until you get this item right here, and then you can go back and pick up all the other items. And it doesn't feel that satisfying when you figure it out. It just seems very stupid. Also, it's not just the Underworld Army that wants you dead. The entire game wants you dead. Even the controller wants you dead. I swear, Pit has some of the worst controls I think I've ever played in a platformer here. He has the high jump boots from Metroid or Halo, and he just feels very slippery when he moves. And on top of all that, he's a one-hit wonder, which means when you die, you get sent all the way back to the beginning. What kind of nonsense was that? The original Mario Brothers had a life system. Why does this game have a life system? And these stages don't know when to freaking end. These stages get so long. By the time I got to this level, I was shocked I saw color. Alright, level starts. I think I'm doing pretty well. And what the junk is this? Okay, you know what? That does it. I had enough of this game. I'm playing something else. So I ended up saying forget this, and off camera I was messing around with codes, and I managed to get to the end of the game, but oh my gosh, is that supposed to be Medusa? I thought her other appearance in something like Percy Jackson was over the top, but this is art. Also, doesn't this remind you of those door eye things from Metroid Fusion? I'm glad we finally came full circle with that. So after putting in 20 plus characters into a password screen, we finally saved the day. Medusa was destroyed and the light of peace returned to Angel Land. But in order to maintain the peace, Pit's struggle continues. Oh, forget this! I'm playing something else. I can see why most people don't talk about the original Kid Icarus in such high regards. Or any regards nowadays. This game is unpolished, it's not really the greatest Nintendo game at this era, and when it comes to just being a nice open world game, it feels like it doesn't do too much different from any of the other genres that Nintendo was doing around this time. Metroid was unique because it was a full exploration game and you just get lost in the world. The first Metroid has its own fair share of problems, and games like Metroid Zero Mission actually remake the original NES game, but just better. When Nintendo treated with Metroid, they could have 100% treated with a ton of their library, but they just don't, and they kind of just fall in the way of obscurity. I would love to see another Kid Icarus game like the original, but just remade in a better form. But with the rise of games like Kid Icarus Uprising, I think that a game like that would be much better to continue on the franchise. But it is very interesting to see how this series
This is just a distraction. Now you're trapped in the TV world, and you can never escape back to your friends and family. No one knows you're here, and you are now bound to the Master of Masters, Akuma!
You are out of your mind if you forget about the many connections I've made throughout this world. And at this moment in time, someone will find me, and that someone will be the most powerfulest person you will ever met in your entire life next to me.
Oh, there's Legends Arceus. Alright, the game's still in here.
Oh my god. Honey, what are you doing here?
Ty, where have you been? I've been trying to get a hold of you for a week.
Well, the next time you get trapped inside your own TV, let me know.
Where have you been? I brought eggs and everything. I made a picnic.
Oh, that's so sweet. I miss you so much.
I missed you too. This is mine. Yeah, it's waiting in the car.
Oh, awesome.
Alright, so is it true that magical things always happen to you?
Sister, you have no idea.
Again, wasting my time and energy on this stupid boy. Well, it's time for me to prepare my next trick. And this time, I'll make sure he doesn't return alive.